Nobody saw it coming, but now the entire internet is losing its mind. Social media is blowing up, videos are leaking everywhere, and fans are completely stunned as rumors intensify that Love and Hip Hop stars Kirk Frost and young Joc got arrested after a violent altercation erupted during filming. What was supposed to be a regular day on set reportedly spiraled into chaos, turning into a full-blown brawl that ended with both reality stars in handcuffs. With shocking video footage now circulating online, the reality TV world is in absolute meltdown mode. Sources close to production claim tensions had been building behind the scenes for weeks, but nobody expected things to explode like this. What allegedly started as heated words quickly escalated into a physical confrontation, and within minutes, all hell broke loose, right in front of the cameras. Screaming, shoving, security scrambling, and then police sirens under a tense, overcast sky. Cameras were rolling on what should have been a standard filming day for the latest season. Everything seemed normal on the surface. Producers giving directions, crew setting up equipment, cast members arriving on schedule. But underneath it all, something was brewing. There was an unmistakable tension between Kirk and Joc. Kirk exchanged glances, Kurt nods, and barely any conversation. Those who had been on set long enough to read the room could tell something wasn't right. People close to production revealed that Kirk and Joc had been avoiding each other for weeks. Word is that the beef started over a business deal gone south. Kirk allegedly made some side moves involving a club promotion that Joc believed he was supposed to be part of, but Kirk apparently cut Joc out without any warning, and Joc wasn't about to let that slide. Things had been slowly building. Passive-aggressive comments during confessionals, subtle jabs during group scenes, and finally, today, it all came to a head. The moment the director yelled action, it was like lighting a fuse. Kirk and Joc were scheduled to film a casual scene at a lounge-style set to discuss upcoming business ventures. Joc arrived late, his expression unreadable, and took a seat directly across from Kirk. They didn't speak at first. Then Kirk leaned forward and muttered something under his breath, too low for mics to catch, but loud enough to set Joc off. Joc slammed his hand on the table. "Say that again," he snapped, locking eyes with Kirk. The room went dead silent. Crew members froze. Rashida, sitting beside Kirk, instinctively reached for his arm, trying to calm him. Kirk, unmoved, repeated himself, this time louder. "I said you acting like you run things when you don't even own your name." Gasps echoed across the set. Joc stood up slowly. "You real brave today, Kirk," he said, voice rising. "Real brave for someone who's been ducking me for 3 weeks." "Ain't nobody ducking you," Kirk fired back. "I just don't deal with clowns." Within seconds, chairs scraped the floor as both men stood face to face. Security rushed in, but not fast enough. Joc shoved Kirk first, sending him stumbling back. Kirk recovered quickly and lunged forward, fists swinging. The cameras were still rolling as chaos erupted. The crew tried to intervene, but the fight was intense, fists flying and furniture toppling. Even other cast members, initially frozen in shock, jumped in to separate them. Rashida screamed Kirk's name repeatedly, her voice nearly drowned out by the commotion. Mona Scott Young, who wasn't even on set at the time, was immediately called. Producers were yelling into walkie-talkies. This wasn't just a scuffle, it had escalated into a full-blown brawl. What made everything worse was that a camera operator didn't stop filming, instead capturing every moment in crystal clear detail. One producer was even overheard whispering, "This is gonna break the internet." But things went too far when Joc reportedly threw a punch that accidentally hit a security guard. That's when the network knew the situation had crossed a line. Within 20 minutes, police arrived as Kirk and Joc were still being restrained in opposite corners of the set. Both looked battered and furious. As officers entered the building, they took statements from witnesses, requested footage, and began separating everyone involved. Kirk shouted toward Joc as officers led him out. "You finished, bro. Done in this industry." Joc, breathing heavily, didn't respond verbally, but his expression said it all. This wasn't over. Word spread beyond the set like wildfire. Someone leaked a short clip, just 6 seconds, of Kirk swinging first, and it hit Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok simultaneously. Fans were shocked, with many initially refusing to believe it was real. "This got to be scripted," one user commented, while others insisted it was too raw to be fake. Within an hour, the video had over 1 million views. Entertainment blogs pounced immediately with headlines like, "Love and Hip Hop stars Kirk Frost and young Joc involved in unset altercation." The Shade Room posted a blurry photo of both men being led away in handcuffs. Commenters were ruthless, debating who was in the right, who started it, and what this meant for the show's future. Meanwhile, Rashida was spotted outside the police station, visibly distraught. Sources claimed she was yelling at producers, demanding answers, and threatening to walk off the show if Kirk wasn't released immediately. "This was supposed to be a business scene," she reportedly said, "not a damn war zone." Inside the station, Kirk sat in an interrogation room with bruised knuckles and a tense face. When police asked him to explain what happened, he maintained he felt threatened, that Joc provoked him, and he acted in self-defense. But with video showing both men physically engaged, charges seemed inevitable. Joc was in a separate room nursing a busted lip and swollen eye. When asked for his version, he laughed bitterly. "Ask Kirk why he was so scared to face me like a man these past weeks," he said. "All this could have been handled off camera." Mona Scott Young, after being briefed, issued a private statement to the network. "This is not what we represent. We want drama, yes, but not violence, not arrest." She instructed the team to pause all shooting indefinitely while they evaluated the situation. But behind closed doors, there were whispers she might use the footage to boost ratings. "This is gold," one producer reportedly said, "as long as no one sues." Both Kirk and Joc were held overnight. Mugshots began circulating online, making fans question whether their favorite reality stars had finally crossed a line they couldn't come back from. As morning broke, paparazzi and fans swarmed outside the station. Everyone wanted answers. What really led to the fight? Who threw the first punch? And most importantly, would Kirk and Joc face real consequences, or was this just another chapter in reality TV drama? Just as Kirk was being prepped for release on bail, his phone buzzed with a message from a blocked number. The text read, "You think that was bad? Wait till you see what's coming next." His face turned pale. Sitting quietly in the back of the police station with his hands still sore, Kirk couldn't stop staring at that cryptic text. He didn't recognize the number, it was blocked, anonymous. But the threat was clear, someone out there wasn't finished, and Kirk had no idea who it was or what they were planning. Meanwhile, across town, young Joc sat in the backseat of a black SUV, his manager driving him away from the station after finally making bail. His face was bruised, his jaw aching, yet his phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Calls, texts, DMs, all from reporters, fans, or people pretending to care. Joc ignored most of them. The only thing he cared about now was the damage done to his career, his reputation, and more importantly, his pride. "You want to go home?" his manager asked quietly. Joc shook his head. "Nah, take me to the studio. I got something to get off my chest." By mid-morning, both Kirk and Joc were trending across all social media platforms. The leaked video now had over 5 million views, and Kirk vs. Joc was the top hashtag on Twitter. Fans were divided, some blaming Kirk, others taking Joc's side, and many just shocked that things had gone that far. What no one expected, however, was that a second, longer video was about to be leaked. And this time, it wasn't just fists being thrown. In the editing bay of the Love and Hip Hop production studio, a low-level assistant named Trey had been quietly watching raw footage. His job was cataloging scenes for editors, but when he stumbled across an uncut clip, not yet secured by producers, he hesitated. The camera angle showed a behind-the-scenes moment recorded before the fight. Kirk and a producer were talking privately, unaware their mic was still hot. In the clip, Kirk could be heard saying, "I told Mona I ain't filming with Joc no more." "He's reckless, sloppy, and thinks this show can't run without him," the producer replied. "You sure you want to go that route? That'll piss him off." Kirk responded, "Let him be pissed. I got dirt on him that'll finish him off if he tries me." Trey sat frozen, heart racing. He knew leaking this would cost his job, but it would expose a whole new layer to the drama. In the viral content world, timing was everything. 3 hours later, the video was online. Fans went crazy. The clip showed Kirk had been planning to cut ties with Joc before the fight and was sitting on some kind of secret. Twitter exploded with theories. What dirt does Kirk have on Joc? Did Kirk start the fight on purpose? This show getting crazier every day. Joc saw the clip from the studio and nearly knocked over his mic. "This fool been plotting," he muttered. "Nah, I ain't letting this slide." He called his manager. "Get my lawyer on the phone and tell Mona we need to talk." Under pressure from the network, Mona scheduled emergency meetings with both men separately. Her goal, calm things down, figure out if filming could resume, and turn this disaster into a ratings win without legal complications. Kirk arrived first, wearing sunglasses to hide his swollen eye. When Mona asked what was happening, he leaned in. "I got receipts, text messages, deals he made behind the scenes trying to get me off the show. He'd been moving foul." "So this was personal?" Mona asked. "It's always been personal," Kirk snapped. Later, Joc had his own confrontation with Mona, coming in loud and animated. "You let him talk all that trash and didn't stop it," he demanded. "You knew he was trying to play me." The next day, Joc posted a selfie video from his studio. "Let me make one thing clear. I didn't start that fight. I didn't want that fight, but I ain't no punk and won't let someone throw dirt on my name without clapping back." He paused dramatically. "Since Kirk wants to talk about dirt, maybe it's time I share what I know." That last line sent fans into a frenzy with hashtags like Spill the Tea and Joc Revenge trending. For the first time in days, Joc was winning the public support battle. Meanwhile, Kirk received another anonymous message, this time a video showing him months earlier in a private conversation with a mystery woman, saying, "I don't care what the contract says. I'll find a way to cut Joc out." He's dead weight. At the same time, Joc received an unmarked package containing a USB drive and a note. "You're not the only one Kirk betrayed." The drive contained footage showing Kirk in meetings with network executives, pushing for Joc's scenes to be cut. Both men suddenly realized they weren't just fighting each other, they were pawns in someone else's game. Someone in the shadows wanted them both to crash and burn. After coordinating through intermediaries, Kirk, Joc, and Mona arranged a secret meeting. They compared notes and realized the leaks formed a pattern. This wasn't random, it was calculated. Everything pointed to one person, Benzino, a former cast member who'd left the show after a fallout with production. They set a trap, tracking the next leak to an abandoned warehouse. Inside, they found Benzino surrounded by screens displaying years of private footage, dirt on everyone in the franchise. "You think you're the kings of this empire?" Benzino sneered. "You're just the latest clowns in a never-ending circus." While Kirk and Joc confronted him, Mona remotely hacked his server and deleted the files. Cornered and desperate, Benzino pulled a gun, but police, tipped off by Mona, arrived just in time. In the aftermath, Kirk and Joc did something unprecedented. They stepped away from the cameras. They focused on healing their personal lives and reputations. Mona launched Reality Unfiltered, giving cast members a platform to tell their authentic stories. The scandal eventually faded from headlines, but it permanently changed the landscape of reality television. For Kirk and Joc, enemies became allies, and what started as a simple backstage argument spiraled into one of the most shocking reality TV scandals ever documented, exposing the manipulation, betrayal, and toxic environment behind the glamorous facade.